Patricia Valone reporting from home with a CTV News update. The winter storm cleanup is continuing. Officials from the Department of Public Works say that more than 200 trucks have been out since Sunday morning, salting and plowing the roads. Crews have been working 12-hour shifts the last few days. As they transition from clearing primary roads to residential streets, motorists are urged to drive with caution.
Although the roadways are down to bare pavement, you still have the possibility of some slick spots, black ice. And so you still want to use caution as you travel on the roadways. If you happen to run across one of our plows, please allow the appropriate amount of distance between you and the plow as they treat the roadways.
Jones says crews will continue to clear the roads tonight and into the early morning hours. Residents in this Lake Arbor neighborhood were busy cleaning up from the snowstorm this morning. From driveways to sidewalks to personal vehicles, they pushed, shoveled, and scraped the remnants of the wintry mix. As many worked, others took in the snowy sights at the nearby lake.
Today is not bad because we got the weather. Now the question is that if this temperature drop and you still haven't got your snow up, you're going to have that icy layer under the top of the snow. It's going to be much more difficult to get. I found that to be the case when I came out kind of late yesterday, that you had that ice layer, that nice ice layer. Then it snowed on top of it, and then it was sleeting all day, and it was hard to get that stuff up yesterday. Today is relatively easy because you have this soft snow coming down. The weather's a little bit warmer. If you shoveled and treated your walkway yesterday, you had a much easier time coming and getting this stuff up.
As the salting of driveways and other winter work continues, some Maryland residents are gearing up for the possibility of more flurries. CTV caught up with two sisters who went to the store to stock up on goods.
We've been okay. We just went to do some grocery shopping to help stock up in case we have to stay huddled in the house for another couple of days.
We were running out, so we had to stock up in case we were in the house for a couple of days, like my sister said.
And the National Weather Service says more snow is expected this week. The COVID death toll in Maryland passes the 7,000 mark. The state health department reports 34 deaths today, bringing the total to 7,012. More than 1,200 fatalities have been recorded in Prince George's County. Montgomery County has the highest number of deaths in the state at 1,269. And some Maryland hospitals say that they are struggling to get second doses of COVID-19 vaccines. According to the Daily Record, facilities across the state are reporting difficulties getting enough vaccines to provide second doses to healthcare workers who are in the highest priority category. The news comes as federal officials advise states not to withhold doses as part of an effort to have enough for a second dose. The state health department has acknowledged some facilities are holding back doses while others are using every bit of vaccine allotted to them. Montgomery County health officials say preliminary results show that 2 residents have contracted the South African COVID-19 variant. This, according to the Washington Post. Officials are waiting for confirmation. However, evidence suggests that the cases are linked to travel and not community transmission. Maryland is the second state to report the South African COVID-19 variant. Prince George's Board of Education members were left out of a COVID-19 vaccination clinic over the weekend for school administrators, teachers, and union officials. That upset some members, but now Rahila Ahmed says she's pleased that members are now allowed to sign up if they so choose. Meantime, Ahmed tells CTV that members have voted in favor of returning to an all-elected board and are supporting legislation sponsored by Delegate Julian Ivey that would reverse the current hybrid system.
It's been really difficult for me as a resident of the county and also someone that's on the school board now to see so many different positions and back and forth going on with legislators about what is right for our school system, when really that responsibility should lie with the voters that have put the school board members in place and the voters that have elected leaders to be in Annapolis.
Members say that the bill is unlikely to move very far during this General Assembly session while the focus is on dealing with the pandemic. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Valone. We'll be back in just a moment.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, What's your name? How old are you? My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say she really doesn't have much of a life, but to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Welcome back. In national news, 2 FBI agents are killed and 3 are wounded during a shooting incident in Florida today. Authorities say the agents were serving a search warrant in a child exploitation case. The suspect, who was barricaded inside of a home, was also killed during the incident. 2 surviving agents are hospitalized in stable condition. No names have been released. Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosh has joined a coalition of attorneys general in the fight to limit robocalls. The coalition has filed a friend of the court brief in the case Lindenbaum versus Realgy. The states argue that the Telephone Consumer Protection Act's robocall ban was enforceable from 2015 to 2020. Yet a U.S. District Court struck down the entire law after the Supreme Court eliminated an exemption signed into law by former President Donald Trump. Well, Black History Month is a time set aside to honor and celebrate the achievements and challenges of Black people in America. Our Byron Scott has more.
I'm Byron Scott. Black History Month is upon us. It's a time when the nation celebrates the achievements of Black Americans as well as examines their challenges. Started in 1926 by historian Carter G. Woodson, Black History Month began as Negro History Week. In 1976, President Gerald Ford expanded it to Black History Month. Not only is it a time of celebration, but also a time to reflect on the continued struggle Blacks face. Most recently, there were the deaths of unarmed Black people by police, there were the Black Lives Matter protest, and there was the deadly January 6th insurrection, where the Confederate battle flag was waved inside the U.S. Capitol.
Black people are uniquely...
Dr. Alvin Thornton co-authored the book, Like a Phoenix, I'll Rise, an illustrated history of African Americans in Prince George's County. He says Black History Month is necessary perhaps now more than ever.
Clearly, what you have now is whether it is Black children being denied rights, or a Black male, or police shootings, etc. It says that we still have an incomplete democracy that has structural and systemic racism, right, that need to be addressed. And Black people, unfortunately, have been given that burden, the burden of the Black man and woman, to ask the great questions of our democracy. And I think we have contributed greatly, mightily, right, to the advancement of our democracy by continuing to ask those questions.
Dr. Thornton says without Black history, there is no American history. Other countries that observe the month are Canada, the UK, and the Netherlands. I'm Byron Scott.
It's an international program that connects parents of newborns to community resources, and now Family Connects can be found locally. The Prince George's Child Resource Center recently began offering free services virtually during the pandemic. Eventually, new parents will also be able to receive in-person home visits.
Nurses would go to the home visit with a full supply of a baby scale. They would be doing a complete physical assessment on the newborn and the mother. Plus, they would be doing screeners for depression, anxiety, talk about safety with interpersonal relationships, supports that are out in the community for breastfeeding. Maybe moms feeling isolated because they're at home with a newborn, and there might be resources in the community for them to connect with other parents who are going through the same thing. And also then just getting them ready to make sure that they've got the well child visit scheduled, make sure that the parents are aware of their options for health insurance and medical homes, and making sure that mom is also scheduled for her all-important postpartum visit.
And for more information on the Family Connects program, you can go to childresource.org. Well, from losing their jobs to starting their own business, two Laurel twin sisters are making headways. Meet Rashawn and LaShawn Middleton. The two of them are co-owners of R&L Crab Company, a crab cook-to-order delivery service. The Middletons, who are former restaurant servers, came up with the idea after being laid off due to the pandemic.
One day we were just sitting in our room, it was raining, and we really didn't feel like leaving the house, and we really wanted some crabs. So we were like, why doesn't anyone deliver crabs? I really could have some crabs right now. I just don't want to leave the house. So then we were like, maybe we should just do it. When 4 or 5 months was going by and we were still out of work, we were like, well, what's going to happen when winter comes and, restaurants may have to close again, which they did. And we were like, what are we going to do? And so we made a job for ourselves, and it actually worked out amazing.
The sisters also plan on buying a food truck and writing a book. For more information, you can head to rnlcrabllc.com. Well, the NFL Super Bowl is just days away. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady, will face off against Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. Brady is considered the best quarterback of all time. Mahomes is considered the best QB of today. During a media session earlier today, they both complimented each other.
The first one I remember is when he's grabbing the trophy and he's throwing it up and he's screaming, he's yelling, just the excitement. It's been forever. And like we were talking about a little bit before, it seems like every single year he's just getting better. And it truly is amazing to watch. And it's amazing to go up against because, you're going up against the best.
He's got a great career ahead of him. And, it's just, again, for such a short period of time in the league to be an MVP in 2018, to deal with some injuries in 2019, which he's going to deal with over the course of his career, but then come back and lead the team to the Super Bowl and win it with a clutch fourth quarter. And then to have a year like 2020 where, all those incredible statistical performances, unfortunately, one of them against us. But then, to bring his team right back to the Super Bowl, which is incredibly tough to do because you're getting every team's best game.
And the Super Bowl will kick off this Sunday in Tampa Bay. That wraps up our CTV News Update. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at 4:30. I'm Patricia Vallone. Have a great evening.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.